Hello and welcome back to Are You Pregnant with Purpose from Steam to Live the Dream. And today we are talking about the ninth month. Are you ready? It's here. It's time. We're birthing this thing. It's about to go down. Any day now, this baby could come. At any time. What are the last minute things that you need to get ready for in order to prepare for this baby? Because it could come at any time. Your cravings are at their highest. Your body is going through the most at this time. You're going through back pains. The whole pregnancy is ridiculous. It's like some days you're nauseated, the next day you're fine, the next day you're craving, you feel just all out of whack, and you're crying, you're depressed, you're dealing with exhaustion. You just are like, when is this going to be over? But in some ways, you're in that place. Because some women actually get to that place where they get to a comfortable state of nesting, where they just in that phase of, yeah, I feel it. I know it's about to happen. It's about to go down. This next time, it's not going to be a Braxton Hicks. It's not going to be, this time is the time. And you just know. And this is the most critical crunch time. Your final curtain call. Are you ready for this thing to happen? Meaning, no more time for setting up, no more time for getting things in order, no more time for organizing and preparing and getting things in alignment and aligned in the right order so that everything can be A-OK and ABC and 1, 2, 3, and how these things are supposed to be in order for you to be able to get everything you need to get done. No, now you're moving out of that phase. Your website should already be done. The book is already in, the manuscript's already to the publisher. Your business outline is already completed. You've completed every step on your business outline, and your structure is complete. Now it's just going through the process of execution. You got your business message on track and things are ready to go. It's time. Everything is ready. It's on point. It's just in time. You're ready to open up the floodgates. You feel it coming. The opportunity, the spotlight's coming. You're a little bit scared. You're about to be rolled out. That means you're getting your look right. You're getting everything into place to launch this thing into the right place. And you just gotta wait. Waiting on the end will drive you crazy. Please let me tell you, it will. You will be sitting here trying to get to the end of a process. A lot of us try to get to the end of the process at the beginning of the process because we don't want the process to happen. But there's nothing worse to be in the middle of the process, waiting for the end of the process, and you don't know when that process is going to end specifically. You've had your Braxton Hicks contraction, so you've seen regular rotations of this thing go through but didn't work, and you kind of gone through that mode of feeling depressed because you think you're a failure a couple of times, and you're like, is this gonna work? But hey, you learned a lesson, you got yourself together, you picked it back up, look at what you did wrong, how to fix it, and you now know what you were supposed to fix. You went in, you tweaked, you touched, you did the little bit of work that you needed to do to get things adjusted in the way that they were supposed to be adjusted, so you're feeling a little bit better about yourself. But still, we ain't quite there yet, and it's that teetering part where you're like, I want to go, but I can't move because the time is not quite right yet. I was talking about this. I think I mentioned this in part 1 of trimester 3. Either that or I mentioned it in the podcast I recorded earlier, but I think it was that part 1. And in that part 1, I mentioned when I was watching a reality TV show and the woman had a schedule. She had this schedule she was trying to keep, and she kind of wanted to play a game, which you don't play games with God or Mother Nature, if you believe in that. But, yeah, she got the brilliant idea. I got this schedule, and if I could have the baby induced by this date, then I'll be ready to go by this date, and I'll be in my right standing to be able to stand on stage for that thing and won't have a problem because I won't have to deal with the baby because I will have the baby, but yeah, she tried that. It didn't work out to her favor. Her body rejected what she was trying to do to it, and she actually made herself sick, which actually could have impeded other things that she needed to do in preparation for that baby to get there. And it was bad. And she still ended up making it to the performance in which she was trying to make it to the performance of. It's just she literally had to do that day immediately after walking out of the hospital after giving birth to her child. It was like immediately. Same day. She dropped the baby off, went to the performance, and came right back. Are we not strong women? We will have children, get up, go somewhere, present ourselves, come back. Like we didn't just give birth to a whole human being. Or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. But let's be real, the ones that had 2 and 3 and 4, they probably did not get up to do anything after. They may have if they had 2 and it was done vaginally and it was what you call it, fully natural birth, childbirth. They didn't have no complications and they were able to push both babies out naturally. They probably could have gotten up and did, but anything like when you hit 3 and you may need to do a C-section or 4, that's like, yeah, no. You just laying in bed until that C-section cut heals, meaning I pray to Jesus. I pray to Jesus. Jesus, I pray. Because that would be a oof. Natural childbirth would be a miracle, but C-section, it's not the scariness of it. It's the fact of being laid out, not able to really move or do anything, while dealing with the aftermath of the pregnancy, which I'll dig deeper into. Because if you're cut open, you got to deal with the aftermath, meaning you got sore muscles that are trying to heal from a cut while also dealing with discharges from the pregnancy that last for about 6 weeks, while also having to be attentive to babies that are screaming and crying and all of this while you potentially either are on medication or not, and then you're dealing with the pain and them crying, and then you still got a household that's there. Jesus be offense to any woman that gotta go through that kind of thing. Jesus. I ain't never been cut open. When you are pregnant with purpose, sometimes it takes 10 weeks for that baby to come. I mean, not 10 weeks, 10 months, 40 weeks, and possibility of it being overdue. In some cases, you have the 10 months, and the baby has not come out yet, and it's time for that child to come out yet. My cousin years ago was overdue by about a week or two, and they had to schedule her for a C-section to get the baby out because of her size. That baby was 10 pounds. And when you're pregnant with purpose, sometimes you are carrying a business that weighs a lot. The weight of what you're carrying is ridiculous. The amount of streams and ebbs and flows and parts and sequences and elements and parts and teams that you gotta hire and collaborative efforts, and you gotta hire the right people alongside this thing, and you gotta operate in discernment and wisdom in order for this thing to come to pass. And it's just that element, and you just like, Jesus be offense. You have to stay in place long enough, but not too long. Sometimes you have to look at the signs, not always jumping on something when it's first presented to you. There are times when there are blockages, delays, interceptions, interferences that are going to stop you and stop the opportunity from coming out. But you know that the baby is time for it to come out. And that baby's gonna come because of the fact it's time. You may be in that rocking phase where you're like, ooh, I know it's coming, and I'm waiting for it. God's timing is perfect. But you're like a racehorse ready to run out the gate when that sucker comes. Because it's about that time. You ready to jump. It's all on point. And it's all on you. And that's what that chapter of this was about. Opportunities come, and I'm being brought back to the opportunity I talked about before, where I was talking about I don't know whether I finished the story or not, but I had an opportunity. It was 2 different offers. One book company was offering me, you can do this for $10,000. Another book company said, we will publish it. I think it was like 1/4. Like, I think it was $1,000 or $500. And they said, oh, we'll publish the book for you. And I was like, if I'm not mistaken, I ran across that contract about 6 months ago for that same company. And I was like, we're not going back to them. Because I remember that day. And thank God for the ministers that the Lord puts in my life. Because on that day, it was the day before. No, I think it was that day. I had went to a church nearby to assist them in the preparation for their Thanksgiving dinner. And I was sitting around waiting around, what do you need help with? Because I'm that type of person. If I find out, oh, well, there's a local church that needs help, let me go run over there and do it. So I went over there and I'm sitting there waiting because they were like, oh, we're doing stuff and we're prepping for this dinner. You can sit and wait and we'll call you if we need anything from you. It's like, oh, okay. So I'm sitting over there, and while I'm sitting, I get a notification on my phone from one of the ministers I listen to. And at this time, I had been debating, but not really, about either of these contracts. So I wasn't really thinking about signing either one of them at that particular point in time. And here comes the woman I listened to. And she said, you got 2 contracts in front of you. Be very careful about the contracts. And she said something specific about both of them. And I was like, dang, you're reading my mail. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I got back, I was in the most confident headspace. I called that company back. And actually, the company called while she was on the broadcast. I was like, wait a minute. They calling while she talking about this. Look at Jesus. And the guy was like, so you ready to sign the contract? Are you ready? Are you ready? And I'm like, why are you rushing me all of a sudden? I didn't say whether I was ready to do anything yet. Why you? And this guy, it's like, he was nice. But it was like, you ever seen in them movies where Matrix, it's like, you got your Agent Smith. But before Agent Smith is recognized as Agent Smith, he's in a normal human body. And it's like that element, I was like, wait, what? The person was like an Agent Smith to me, man. This guy went from every time. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to say this and I'm going to cut off. Yeah, every time. Anyway, he was changing his attitude. So I ended up deciding no. And he got irritated. And then I went and called the other people and told them I wasn't doing their contract. And I felt so much better. And we still holding on to the book right now. But I gotta go. I was a phone call. I gotta call back. So I love you. Till next time. Bye.